Hey guys, John Gross here. I was just going to show a video of how to repack bearings. I just got this hub off here. It's just a dyno weld trailer. I think it's a 2000 model, but it's a good old trailer. You can't beat these old school trailers. But let me put my camera on here. Hold on. So first you take your hub off. First you're gonna take your hub off, and then there's gonna be this little cap right here. And when you take the cap off, you wanna make sure when you take your flathead screwdriver and when you pry down on it, you wanna make sure you're not gonna bend the edges, because that's not good on it. Because you wanna make sure the seal's good, even though it's metal, but you wanna make sure the metal seal won't go back down. But anyways, you do that, then you take it off, and then there's gonna be this castle nut right here. No, actually, there's gonna be a cotter pin, or a pin, whatever you call them. But you wanna make this pin. You wanna take a pair of long noses and bend them where they're straight up and down. Then after that, there's gonna be a castle nut on here. And you wanna take your wrench. In this case, it's a. In this case, I think it's a. I think it's 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. It's a 1 inch socket to take this one off. But these bearings didn't really need repacked, but we bought this trailer probably about 6 months ago, and I just want to make sure the bearings are good. They had grease in them already, but I just like everything on a maintenance schedule that I understand in my head, so I'm not all over the place. Anyways, once you take it off, there's going to be this. Once you pull it off, there's going to be this little bearing right here. Which this one has a little bit of play in it. It could need replaced, but as much as we use this trailer, it'll work fine. But what you first want to do, you want to make sure you keep all the. I'm working in stone right now, but you want to make sure you keep all this grommet stuff out of here. It's not really good on it. It's not going to hurt it, but you want to make sure you don't want to put it back in there like that. And you want to make sure they spin freely too. So you take those out, and then your whole hub's going to come off. And while you're under here, you might as well also want to check your brakes. And in this case, the brakes are in good condition, so that's nice. And then hold on. And then after that, when you pull it off, you're gonna have. I'll show you the next one, but you're gonna have this cap right here on the back. This is a seal, this rubber seal right here. This goes on the back of the hub right here. It goes on this part. There's a rubber seal right here, and you're gonna make sure that's in good, or else if you don't have it good, your water can get in it, and water destroys these. I'm telling you, it's terrible on it. You'll be driving down the road, and your whole thing will just fly off. But anyways. And after you take that off, what I usually do, I just took this on an extension and took it out. You just gotta be careful when you tap on it so you don't hit the bearing. It's hard to not. It's okay to tap on it a little bit, but don't tap a lot on it because it'll mess up these little beads right here. Anyways, then you get your big bearing in the back. And this one's, there's grease in it, but like I said, I just want to make sure it's in good condition. So anyways, take that. It's a messy job, but I love it. We're still recording. There we go. This center shaft right here, if that's what you call them, I don't know. When I took mine off, there was good grease on it, and it wasn't scored or anything. As you can see right here, it's in good condition. There's no scoring on it. You want to make sure, like this right here, I don't know what you call that. If someone knows, comment down in the comment section. But anyways, this right here, they want to make sure these aren't scored. That's because if these are scored, then it leads to other problems because the bearing won't seat on it properly. You want to make sure they're properly not scored. Like this one, this is pretty good condition. You just want to be careful with this. You don't want to score metal, but I'm sure a lot of people don't do this, but I take this wire brush on the drill and just lightly went over it and just got the surface rust off, which it wasn't bad rust, but right here there's a little bit of rust. So I'm sure it doesn't matter, but you just do that. Let's back up here. So that's cool. And then right now, I just took my file, right before I started the video, I just took a file and just went over this race right here. That way your race in here is not gonna That way your race is not, don't have any burrs on it. If you have burrs on it, it's not good. So I just took that and lightly went over it. And here we got this back bearing. And then, oh yeah, if you ever do this, make sure you have some rags handy because it gets messy. I just wipe this out of here so it doesn't have any debris in it. I just went over it. So first off, I'm just using standard grease. I'm sure, I mean, it's just regular high temperature grease, which I'm sure someone's gonna probably say something about it, but for what I use it for, it works great. I'm sure there's other greases out there you can buy, but this is what I had handy. So, man, it's hot outside, holy cow. So you just lightly go over in here. I'm not a pro at this whatsoever. I just learned how to do this the other day. YouTube's nice. It teaches you a lot of things. Just take your finger in there and just lightly go over it with the grease. That way it has a good surface thing. And the center shaft right here, you want to put grease on it. I'm sure I have too much grease, but you know what? It's better to have enough than not. You just want to go over that. That helps it slide on easier when you're installing it back on. Anyways, you take this bearing right here, you just wipe the old grease off. Just gotta set this up here. And I'm just gonna now teach you guys how to pack it. So you put a big glob of grease in your hand. Big old blob of grease, which is disgusting. Well, it's not disgusting, it's just feels really weird because I'm in 100-degree weather outside. And you take your bearing right here and you want to make sure it's good, but I always went from the inside out and make it come out of here, but I'm sure. But what I do is I just take it,